last session we discussed about Draupadi and her 4 lives, the 4 janmas. How the goddesses, who are those goddesses? Parvati, Shachi, the wife of Indra, Usha, the wife of Ashwini Devatas, Shamala, the wife of, who is Shamala Devi? Yamaraj. So they all appeared in one body, and their intention was, we will go in front of Lord Brahma and we'll roam around, and because we are 5 but we are in one body, and he will not be able to detect, and we will make fun of him when he fails to find out this. So this was their intention, trying to show Lord Brahma in a very demeaning manner. So Lord Brahma tolerated this twice. He thought, okay, some fun they are trying to make innocently. But 3rd time, he thought that I should now set right standard. And then he actually cursed them. He said that because you all came in one body, so you will all appear in one body. You came 3 times, so 3 times you have to take birth in one body in the human form of life. For Devatas threes, appearing as human life is a demotion. I gave an example. You have a car. Now if I ask you to go by bicycle, it is actually demotion. Demotion in terms of speed, you will not get the same speed as car. You will not get the same comfort in the car like AC, music, when you are on the bicycle. So for Devatas threes, for not being responsible in their behavior, in their intention, so Brahma cursed them to take birth in the human body, that too in single body, all of them in human life, that too 3 times. So this is the background. And also in one more occasion, they, in an inappropriate way, they behaved in front of Lord Brahma with their husbands. So for that, Lord Brahma had told that you will be touched by somebody other than your husband. So that is also actually some kind of a demotion if such a thing happens. Because according to the purity in relationship, that you won't be even touched by other person. So for all this background, we discussed how they appeared as Viprakanya in the first life, the daughter of a Brahmana. And in that life, they didn't get a suitable husband. So that Viprakanya means now all those 5 goddesses appeared in one body as Viprakanya, and for not getting the right suitable husband, performed severe austerity to please Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva appeared being very pleased with the austerity of this Viprakanya and blessed that, okay, you will get suitable husband in your future lives. And then Viprakanya gave up her body, and so the one janma is over. In the next janma appeared as Nalayani, the daughter of Nala and Damayanti. And in the 3rd life appeared as Indrasena and was married to a sage called Mudgala. And Mudgala once, he made fun of Lord Brahma, saying that, oh Lord Brahma, you're so cheap. You ran behind your daughter Saraswati. It's so inappropriate. I'm better than you. With this kind of a superiority complex, without understanding the proper background, he made fun of Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma, in order to teach him the right behavior and right standard of thinking and speaking, so Lord Brahma had cursed him that you accused me that I got degraded because of associating with my daughter Saraswati, right? So you will also degrade by associating with spiritually higher qualified women. We discussed why we degrade when we associate with higher qualified people in the previous class. So then Mudgala realized, the sage Mudgala realized that yes, actually he crossed his limits and it was his mistake. He should have not spoken like that. And then he again did tapasya and pleased Lord Brahma. And so he was again blessed by Lord Brahma that, you will not degrade, you will not associate, but you will marry because you have done mistake, that what I have spoken should not go unfulfilled. It cannot go in vain. It has to happen. But those higher qualified women that you will marry, that you will not associate. Their own husbands through you will associate. So in the third life, this Pancha Devatas Stris appeared as Indrasena. Of course, in all these Janmas, it is only one body. There are only 5 people in one body. And this Indrasena was married to Mudgala Rishi. And Mudgala Rishi pretended that he was affected with leprosy and he never associated with his wife Indrasena. But he presented the reason to the world that I want to test the pativratya of my wife, chastity of my wife. Even though I'm incapable of giving her the whatever pleasure in the married life, I want to see whether she'll be committed to me or not. Actually, there are all backgrounds. What is the background? He cannot associate with Indrasena because Indrasena is a higher qualified woman. A Mudgala, if he associates with her, then it will be a degradation for him. And we also discussed in the previous session that why there is a thinking that husband should be more qualified than woman in Vedic culture. That is now degraded into a different kind of thinking. They say that husband should earn more salary than woman. Husband should be more aged than the woman. Husband should be more qualified than the woman. Husband's height should be more than woman's wife. So like this kind of a thing we get to see. But the original spirit in this Mudgala Rishi's case we see is husband's consciousness should be more qualified than the woman's consciousness. In the case of the professor, a teacher in the college, obviously the professor should be more qualified than the teacher. Because in the Vedic culture, the Vedic arrangement, husband is the teacher for wife, for sake of spiritual upliftment. So the husband obviously should have more spiritual developed consciousness in order to be a teacher to his wife and children. So that is the original spirit. If not, if you are not, like for example, in some cases nowadays we get to see due to some reasons, maybe because of bribing, maybe because of some unqualified selection, all these things we see sometimes professors or teachers are not so qualified to teach the students. Sometimes that students will be teaching the professor. I've seen this with my own eyes during my some days, college times. The teacher doesn't know how to solve that problem, but the students will be telling like this, you can solve like that. So this is a very funny situation. It is reverse. And it leads to disrespecting the teacher. And when you disrespect the teacher, then it is not good for your own progress. So that's why it is not a right combination. So that is how the husband is supposed to be more qualified in the sense you should be spiritually more qualified than the wife, so that you can lead your wife to the right spiritual destination. And so Indrasena, she proved her chastity to her husband Mudgala Rishi. And then the original husbands of these 5 Devatas Stris, like Indra, who is the husband of Shachi, Yama, the husband of Shamala, Ashwini Kumaras, the husband of Usha, they all associated with the wife Indrasena by expanding through Mudgala Rishi. So it appeared as if Mudgala expanded into a 5 body and associated with his wife. But actually, their own husbands through the body of a Mudgala Rishi associated separately with their wife in the one body, that is Indrasena. And once that is done, now Mudgala Rishi realized if I continue to be with Indrasena, that will, a dangerous situation for me. So he renounced his family life and the world and he went away. He took sannyas and he went away. But Indrasena was very disturbed. She wanted her husband. So did again severe austerity to please Lord Shiva. And when Lord Shiva appeared, and so she asked what? Patim dehi, patim dehi, patim dehi, patim dehi. 5 times she asked. I want my husband, I want my husband, I want husband, I want husband, like this. And Lord Shiva said, tathastu, 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 5 times, saying that you will be blessed with 5 husbands. Why 5 times she asked? We need to know the background. Because there are 5 people in the one body. And all 5 people, they don't know that there are 5 people in one body. It is like, see, we already understood. Body is like the machine. According to Bhagavad Gita, yantra rudhani mayaya. Krishna says this is a yantra. It's a machine, like car. Car is a machine. Generally one driver, one person who drives. But in exception cases, there can be multiple people driving in one vehicle. There can be 3 people sitting, 4 people sitting, right? They are using, all 4 people are traveling in one body. In the case of bus, there are 50 people. In the case of train, there are thousands of people, right? So, but ideally, one body is given to one soul, one predominant soul, right? So, likewise, in this case, 5 souls are there in one body, but 5 souls do not know that there are other souls. So every soul, when Lord Shiva came, asked that I want husband, because they were each Devatas 3 asked, I want husband. So Lord Shiva said, okay, you will get 5 husbands. Lord Shiva was aware that there are 5 souls in this. But when Indrasena heard this, she became very disturbed. Right? Because I said, each soul do not know that there are 4 more other souls. By hearing this, 5 husbands you will get, Indrasena became very disturbed. Oh, this became prostitution. How can one woman marry 5 husbands? This is unacceptable. This is such a big degradation. Instead of blessing me, Lord Shiva has cursed me. What kind of a boon it is? What kind of a blessing it is? This is it's a degradation for me. And Indrasena started crying. At that time, in the Naimisharanya, there was a Satra Yaga going on by Devatas. Devatas were doing some Satra Yaga in Naimisharanya. And they saw something miraculous thing happening there. The Ganges river, which is flowing by, was carrying extraordinary golden lotuses. There were golden lotuses flowing down the Ganges river. And Devatas saw in the material world there are no golden lotuses. And how come we are seeing the golden lotuses flowing down the river? So Lord Indra, he went searching for the source of that golden lotus. From where are they coming down? Let me go and search. So he went searching for those golden lotuses and he reached Gangotri. Gangotri is where Mother Ganga, river Ganga, she becomes visible to our eyes. That is not her origin, but in the material world, she becomes visible from that point. So she saw, Indra saw there, one lady was sitting and crying. That was actually Indrasena. And her tears, as soon as they fall into the river, they were transforming into golden lotus. And then Lord Indra asked her, who are you? Why are you crying like this? And then she introduced herself. She said that I am Indrasena, wife of Mudgala Rishi. And so I wanted my husband. I did tapasya to please Lord Shiva. In Vedic, understanding, whoever wants a husband, good husband, so they do worship of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva blesses people with husband because Mother Parvati, she did so much of tapasya to get Shiva as husband. And why Shiva is the best person to give husband? Again, we should know Vedic philosophy. Because Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu is the greatest Vaishnava. He knows what is the goal of life. He knows who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if you get a husband like Lord Shiva, your life is done. Because he knows what is the goal of life. He knows how to lead a life. And he knows how to take care of his wife. Because when Mother Parvati asked Lord Shiva, and he guided her. What guidance he gave? Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnuraradhanam param. He said, Tasmat parataram Devi. Oh my dear Devi, please worship Lord Vishnu. Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame. Hey Manorame, hey my dear wife. Shri Rama Rama Rameti. He said, please meditate on Lord Rama, worship Rama. Lord Shiva gave this guidance to Mother Parvati. A husband, good husband, is the one who gives this kind of spiritual knowledge to wife and helps wife to follow in the spiritual path. So Lord Shiva is the right person to get the good husband. He knows if you worship him, he'll guide you to a right husband. So I thought Lord Shiva will give me good husband, and I prayed to him, and he came and told 5 times, you will get husband, you'll get husband, 5 husband you will get. So that's why I'm crying, because it is unacceptable. How can I have 5 husband? And then Indra became very angry at Lord Shiva. He said that, how could you curse a woman in the name of blessing like this? That too, when I am ruling this world, how can you disturb one woman like this? So Indra scolded Lord Shiva. Indra scolded Lord Shiva. And when Indra scolded Lord Shiva, then Lord Shiva cursed Indra. And he said, Itirite Shivaha Praha. Lord Shiva spoke. Praha means spoke. Itirite, he told these words. Itirite Shiva Praha. Patamanusham apnuhi. Without knowing any background, you're unnecessarily getting mad at me and you're speaking unnecessary things. Pataha manusham apnoti. You will fall down from your position as a Indra and take birth in the human life. So Lord Shiva cursed Indra. Pataha manusham apnoti. You'll become a manushya. You'll fall down. Asyascha bharta bhavasi. You're speaking in her favor. Bharta bhavasi. You will become her husband. Asyascha bharta bhavasi. Bharta means husband. Bhavasi. You will become. Asyascha bharta bhavasi. You're taking her side and you're getting angry at me and you're speaking so much in her favor. You will first of all fall down to a human species. And secondly, you for taking side of her, you will become her husband. Tvamai vaisha varishyasi. You will marry her. You see? So Lord Shiva told this to Indra. Pashyatra madavagnyat. Look there. Like you, some more people misbehaved with me. Mad avagnyat. Avagnya means deriding, misbehaving, or speaking something not so respectable things. Avagnya. So, Pashya means look, see. Look there, Pashyatra, Madavagnyat. For sake of misbehaving with me, Madavagnyat, Patitamsta. Patita means fall down. Patitamsta, Drushan Suran. Some more great Devatas like you, Indras like you, have fallen down. Look there, they are all sitting there. You will also fall down like them. So Lord Shiva spoke this. So this is the background of Pandavas. So we are now discussing who are the Pandavas. So we discussed Draupadi and Pandavas because they're all interconnected. And now because Lord Shiva cursed Indra that you will fall down and become a human being, so Indra appeared as Arjuna. Bhartam, you will become a husband of this lady whose side you are taking. So Indra married Draupadi as Arjuna. So you are speaking so much in her favor, you will marry her. But actually, who is that Indrasena? Who is that Draupadi? There is a Shachi Devi in the Draupadi. So it is Indra who only has to marry. Right? That's how you will marry her. That Indra, who was actually Arjuna, or Arjuna who is actually Indra, in the Swayamvara, Draupadi Swayamvara, he won Draupadi and married her. So this is the background. Now let us understand, this is all the story that Mahabharata gives. Vyasadeva is telling this to Panchal Naresh, Drupada. When Drupada came to know that 5 people are going to marry my daughter, he was horrified. He said, how can I ever allow such a thing? So that is where all this Draupadi's Purva Vrittanta is being narrated by Vyasadeva. And Vyasadeva said, look, your daughter is highly qualified. And she's so qualified, she has done so much of tapasya in her previous life. Lord Shiva has personally blessed her to get great 5 people as husband. And she has done tapasya to marry 5 Indras. This is what Vyasadeva says. Now we need to understand what do you mean by 5 Indras. There is only one Indra to this universe. How can Draupadi marry 5 Indras when there is only one Indra? Right? So this confusion we have to clarify. So Lord Brahma, his 12 hours is called Sahasra Yuga. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says in 8th chapter, Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Brahmano. Lord Brahma's 12 hours is equal to 1000 Maha Yuga. What do you mean by Maha Yuga? Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga is one Maha Yuga. Like we say week, 1 week. 1 week has 7 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 7 days put together is called 1 week. Like that 4 yugas put together is called 1 Mahayuga. Like that there are 1000 Mahayugas during the daytime of Lord Brahma. Like the same duration of the time is the night of Lord Brahma. That constituted 1 day. 1 day means 24 hours. So now, during this period, that means during the Brahma's daytime, there are many administrators. Administrators at multiple level. Like we can see Gram Panchayat, Jilla Panchayat, and then we see state government, then we see central government, then we see there is United Nation. So there are multiple levels of administrations in this world we see. So like that there are people at multiple level they administer this universe that we see. So during the day of Brahma, there are 1000 Mahayugas, and these 1000 Mahayugas are divided by 12. 12. Because there are 12 administrators called Manu. They are called Manu. And when you divide 1000 by 12, you get around 71. 71 Mahayugas. So each Manu, his period of administration is 71 Mahayugas. Like in our Indian democracy, when there is a new government elected, they are allowed to rule for 5 years. That is the allotted time for that government. So like that each Manu is allotted for 71 Mahayugas. So in each Manu, whenever there is one Manu, like whenever new government comes, at that time there will be one Prime Minister, or there will be one Finance Minister, there will be one Home Minister, like that. So during Manvantara, there is one administrator called Manu. He is like a Prime Minister. He is the main administrator. So under him, there is one Indra. So that means there is an Indra for each Manu. Every Manvantara, there is one Indra. That means, what is the duration of Indra's position? 71 Mahayugas. So, presently now, this is the 7th Manvantara going on. In today, Brahma's day, this Brahma's day that is going on, the 7th Manvantara is going on. Already 6 Manvantaras have happened. Presently the 7th Manvantara is going on. So now when did Mahabharata happen? In this Manvantara, the present Manvantara, which is 7th Manvantara. 28th Dwapar Yuga of the 7th Manvantara. How many Dwapar Yugas will be there in this Manvantara? Sorry? 71 Dwapar Yuga. In this, out of 71 Dwapar Yuga, the 28th Dwapar Yuga where this Mahabharata happened. Right? So this we should now understand. Now when Draupadi is marrying the 5 Indras, presently there is only one Indra. How can she marry 5 Indra? It means the previous Indras also are involved. Those who were Indras in the previous Manvantaras. Like for example, if I say, oh, there are 4 finance ministers sitting here. Now you may say, how is it possible? In our country, there is only one finance minister. Yes, present finance minister plus previous finance ministers. Now, how do we understand this? So, the first Manvantara is called Swayambhuva Manvantara. During that Swayambhuva Manvantara, Supreme Lord Vishnu himself ruled as Indra. He himself was the Indra. And at that time, Indra's name was Yajna. It's one of the name of Lord Vishnu, Yajna. Yajna Namaka Vishnu, ruled as Indra. Sometimes, for some reasons, Prime Minister himself can keep certain portfolio. He can keep, finance ministry with him. He can keep the defense ministry with him. Like that, the Supreme Lord kept that Indra's post with him and he himself ruled as Indra. That is during the first 71 Mahayugas, during the first Manvantara, and that time Swayambhuva Manu was the Manu. He was ruling, so it is called Swayambhuva Manvantara. At that time, who was Indra? Yajna. Is Draupadi marrying this Indra? No. It's a Supreme Lord. In the second Manvantara, which is called Swarochisha Manvantara. Swarochisha Manvantara. During that time, Vayu Deva, he ruled as a Indra. At that time, he handled that Indra's post. And at that time, his name was Rochana. That Indra's name was Rochana. But he is Vayu Deva. So, he is one of the Indra who married Draupadi. And that is Bhima, who appeared as one of the Pandavas. Vayu, who appeared as Bhima, was Indra in the second Manvantara, Swarochisha Manvantara. And in the third Manvantara, Uttama Manvantara. The third Manvantara of this Brahma's day was Uttama Manvantara. In that Manvantara, Lord Yamaraj, he ruled as Indra and his name was Satyajit. At that time, Indra's name was Satyajit. And who was that? Yama. So, he married Draupadi as Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira is Yama's incarnation. And then in the fourth Manvantara, one of the Ashwini Devatas ruled as Indra. And that time Indra's name was Trishikha. He, one of the Ashwini Devatas, in the name of Trishikha, ruled as Indra during that Manvantara called Tapasa Manvantara. And in the fifth Manvantara, which is called Raivata Manvantara, at that time the second Ashwini Kumara called Vibhu, in the name of a Vibhu, ruled as Indra. So these two Ashwini Kumaras appeared as Nakula and Sahadeva and married Draupadi. And in the Chakshusha Manvantara, which is the sixth Manvantara, and the present Vaivasvata Manvantara, the same Indra is ruling as Indra. In the previous Manvantara, he was called as Mandradyumna. In the present Manvantara, he is called as Purandara. But he's the same person. He's like now Modi. He's continuing the term because he won. He's qualified again from whatever democracy point of view. Like that, Indra is qualified enough to continue again. So the 6th Manvantara and the present Manvantara, both the Manvantaras, he is continuing. In the previous Manvantara, he was called Mandradyumna. In this Manvantara, is called Purandara. And that Indra appeared as Arjuna. So these are the 5 Indras who married Draupadi, and they are the 5 Pandavas. And how they appeared and how they married Draupadi. And what is again? We should go back to the original pastime. What is that? Because in the Draupadi, the body of Draupadi, there are 5 personalities. Shyamala, wife of Yama. Bharati, wife of Vayu. Shachi Devi, wife of Indra. And Usha, who is the wife of Ashwini Kumaras. So that's how in the Draupadi body it is appeared. Parvati is also there from according to that pastime. But there is a reason why Parvati did not get her husband, Shiva as her husband. That we will discuss in the next class. Reason that why Shiva didn't marry in the Draupadi's body even though Parvati was there. So this is who Draupadi is and this is who Pandavas are. So when the Mahabharata, of course all this Indra's name that we discussed, this is all explained in Srimad Bhagavatam in the 9th canto and in the other cantos, in which Manvantara, who was the Indra, and all that description is given. So that Vyasadeva is giving all this information to Drupada Maharaj and said, these are the 5 Indras who appeared as 5 Pandavas, and your daughter Draupadi, Panchali, in the previous life as Indrasena, she has pleased Lord Shiva, and these 5 qualified husbands have appeared, so you have to marry, all these things. So this is the background. Now, why are we discussing all this background? Number 1, we should be very careful to understand the great personalities and their background, and we cannot simply make some fun and say that, oh, polygamy was there, or so we can also do. See, what is allowed to somebody is not, it's not some, for everyone. You have to get into everybody's background. In the hospital, you see someone is allowed to eat ice cream. Someone is allowed to eat some oily item. No, you cannot say, oh, he is eating in this hospital, so I can also eat. No, every patient is different. Prescription is different for everyone. So you cannot blindly follow. You have to carefully see what is suitable for me and what I am qualified for, and only I have to do that. We cannot pick up some example for our convenience and say that, oh, I can also do this. Oh, this is also allowed. That is why acharyas take so much of hard work to give all this information to us. Who are they? What is their background? Why do they appear? And secondly, as we discussed in the previous class, Martyavataram, Martya Shikshanam. Devatas have multiple responsibilities. One of the responsibilities, they do universal administration. Second responsibility is to set the right standard of behavior. Anybody who is in a higher position, they have this. If you are a father or mother, one responsibility is to administer your family. You have to take care. You have to parent, you have to make sure electricity is there, you have to make sure water has come. Children, they are incapable to do all these things. They are dependent on you. So you have to do all that. Apart from that, you also have a responsibility of set the right examples of good and bad, both to your children. How to speak, how to behave, because they learn from you. So the Devatas, Martyavataram, Martya Shikshanam. Martyavatara, they appear like this. Pandavas, Draupadi and all, to set the right example. They also tell us what to do, what not to do. How you should not misbehave with your superiors. How you should be very respectful. So this Pancha Devatas, threes, they are setting example to us that Lord Brahma, he is in the superior position. And we should be very respectful. We cannot make fun. We cannot play pranks. At the same time, we also discussed that how the punishment is decided by seeing your intention, by seeing your action, and also by seeing the consequences. Keeping all the three things in the mind, a certain judgment is given. So that's why Lord Brahma, seeing their intention, they were playing pranks. What was their intention? That we will be in one body and Brahma will not be able to detect. He said that you will be in one body and you yourself will not be able to detect that others are there in this body. What you wanted to do with me, same thing you will experience. You will all be in one body, but you will not be able to detect that 4 more people are there in this body. So, take birth. Ekatva deham. You'll be born as in one body. Ekatva deham manusya janma. In Manushya Janma, Ekatva Deha. And 3 times you came to make fun of me. So 3 times take birth. See? Like this. So your intention was punished. What was your action? You are playing pranks with me. Which is not correct. So for that, take birth as human being. Human being is a demotion. And later they realized their mistake. They all did prayaschitta, repentance, and they begged, whenever we appear in the human life, our own husband should marry us. This is what we want. Yes, we will accept your punishment because we know we did mistake. Right? But when we appear, our own husband should marry us. We don't want to associate with any other man. So even there, we want our husband. Okay, tathastu. But those husbands also appeared. And each person, how they appeared, right? Like Yudhishthira, Srila Prabhupada explains, he was cursed by a sage, Mandavya Rishi, Ani Mandavya. That how you didn't check what is right, what is wrong properly. You gave me some punishment. So you did not know how to behave properly in your position as a Yamaraj. So you appear. So Yama appeared as not only Yudhishthira, he also appeared as Vidura. So every person, every action of us is held accountable. So Mahabharata is teaching responsible life. A life where one is held accountable. No one is allowed to do whatever they want. We may think there is nobody, I can do whatever I want to do. There's no consequences. But Mahabharata gives so many life stories to tell us how consequences can spread across the life. Across the lifetime. Why Bhagavad Gita so clearly says, Vasamshi jirnani yatha vihaya Vasaha. This body, Deha, is the dress. When you want to swim, when you want to go deep inside the ocean, you wear one kind of a dress which is suitable for going deep inside the ocean. When you want to go into the space, you see ISRO or NASA, you see how those people, they wear a different kind of a dress. According to your requirement and desire, you wear a different kind of dress. And you see those who work in fire station. Fire, what is that? Those who deal with firefighters, they wear a different kind of dress. Those who go into the ocean wear a different kind of dress. Those who want to go into the space, they wear a different kind of dress. So the dress is according to my desire and requirement. So, Vasamshi, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the body, this Deha, this Sharira is the dress. Right? Now, whichever dress you wear, finally there is an Atma which is responsible. I wear this dress, and wearing the dress, what do I do? So what you do, the accountability is for the Atma, not for the body. So in whichever body you do whatever activity, the soul is held accountable. So, soul is the one who has to go through experience. So, when we understand in this world, sometimes it sees, it's so unfair. It's so unfair. I did so much of hard work, but I didn't get result. This person didn't do any hard work, but he got result. It looks so unfair. But from Vedic scripture, there is nothing called unfair. In this dress, the hard work which I have done may not be enough to get that result. And others, in this dress, it seems they have not done any hard work, but they have already done hard work in some other dress. What do you mean by dress? In other body, in other sharira. So, the basic education in Vedic philosophy is, you are not this body, you are Atma, you are soul. If you miss this single point, you will have emotional disaster in your life. Today's depression, fights, all these things because people have missed one basic point. What is that? I am not this body, I am soul. They think that I am this body and there is only one life. So there is only one life. Whatever hard work I do in this life should yield result in this life. And others, it looks like they have not done any hard work, but they are getting some result. So my mind emotionally cannot handle such things. So that is where comparison comes, criticism comes, that emotional breakdown happens, and people go through unhealthy competition, comparison. See, why this unhealthy competition and comparison happening in this world? Because of the ignorance, uneducation. What is that? That, like somebody, parents are telling, see, that boy is scoring 100 out of 100. Why can't you score? So now when you miss this point, that you see the capability to score 100 marks is coming from present hard work plus the previous hard work. Both are there. It is not only from present hard work. It is like you are putting water. Both of you are putting water. In one place, mango tree came out. In another place, nothing is coming out, even though you are putting water. Now, what can be your conclusion? He also put water, I also put water. For him, one mango tree came out and gave him mango fruit. For me, 10 years over, I'm putting the water. He's also doing this. I'm doing same thing as what he is doing. Work is the same. Hard work is the same. 1 hour he also puts the water, I also put the water. Why I am not getting result? What is the answer here? He has put the seed there. May not be today. Some other time there was a seed. And here there is no seed. So today's hard work is what? Putting water. Yesterday's hard work is what? Putting the seed. If you had not put the seed, no matter how much ever water you keep putting today, nothing will grow there. So please do not come to this conclusion that only this life hard work should give me result. If you don't have that seed, karma seed, it won't yield any result. And what will happen? Because of this ignorance, there is emotional breakdown. Why there is emotional breakdown? Because there is another ignorance. What is that ignorance? My hard work should give result. So what people do? They increase their hard work. Now 2 hours they'll say, chalo, instead of 1 hour watering, I'll do 2 hour watering. I'll make it now 4 hours of watering. So when you go on increasing your hard work, you will break down. Physically you will break down. Emotionally you will break down. And that has an impact on relationship. It has impact on your own well-being. So at the end, there is so much of suffering. So the basic point is, I am not this body. I am a soul. And the soul lives eternally. The time reference, right? It is such an interesting thing. Time, how do you know what is past, what is present, what is future? Let us understand this. Time is a time. But what is past? What is present? What is future? Because time is experienced in this 3 dimension. Past, present, and future. You know one interesting thing? Past is not the past for everybody. Present is not the present for everybody. Future is not the future for everybody. Because the time is experienced as a past and present and future from a specific reference point. And what is that reference point? From which reference point this experience called past, present and future, it happens? Yes, it's a reference point of your body. From your body reference point, anything before this body's birth becomes past. Am I right? Anything before my body's birth is the past for me. Like in 1970, what happened? I don't know. This body was not there. So for me, it is a past. For me, it is a history. But those who are alive during 1970, for them, was it past? For them, it was present. From your body reference point of view, now what is going on is present tense. But those who will be born after 10 years, for them 2022 is past. For them it is not present tense. See, same kala. For somebody it is past, for somebody it is future, for somebody it is present. See, something is future. Tomorrow is a future for my body. Isn't it? So, past, present, future is different for different people. So, in my past, for soul there is no past, present, future. Whenever we refer past, present, future, we are referring to the body, to this body, not for all the body. Past, present, future is for a specific body, it's not common. But for the soul, there is no past, present, future. Because soul exists eternally, time exists eternally. Like when you take 2 infinities. Now if I ask which infinity is bigger, which infinity is smaller, nobody can answer that because both are infinities. So soul is eternal, time is eternal, so there is nothing called past, present, future for the soul. Past, present, future is only for the body that we have got now. So when I say Purva Janma, previous life, it is keeping this body in the reference point. Not for soul. For soul there is no, it is there, it is just continuing. So when you do hard work, we should not forget that in the past, means before this body, if I have done some work for already this, then I will get the result with the present hard work or without the present hard work. Is it clear? Otherwise, it leads to comparison. Illiterate comparison. What does illiterate comparison means?
Not comparison, right? I mean, the reference point is on.
Can anybody explain what is illiterate comparison? You are comparing your result with somebody's result. You are comparing your outcome with somebody's outcome. And in terms of your efforts. I put 100 unit efforts. The other person also put 100 unit efforts. But that other person got X outcome. I didn't get any outcome. Or I got X by 2 outcome for the same efforts. How do you explain this? This can only be explained with the 2 aspects of Vedic philosophy called reincarnation and law of karma. Law of karma means what? Whatever you have done, you will get the result of that. You put on mango seed yesterday, today you start watering, mango tree will grow. Law of karmas are equal and neutral. They don't discriminate, There is no partiality from the law of nature or law of karma. They're equal to everyone. So when you realize this, there is a peace of mind. The grudge won't come. Oh, there is injustice in this world. This world is so unfair. Why am I going through this experience? Somebody put yesterday mango seed. By watering it, they'll get sweet mango. If somebody had put some, Karela, bitter gourd seed, and they keep watering it, what they will get? Bitter gourd. Now they say, see, unfair. He also every day put 1 hour water. I also put 1 hour water. But for him, God gave mango fruit. For me, God has put me into this bitter gourd experience. Very bad. First of all, if God is there, God is very bad God, unfair God. If God is not there, by chance he got mango with his hard work. By chance I got bitter gourd. Now, why you got bitter gourd? You had put the bitter gourd seed. Why he got mango fruit? He had put the mango fruit. So when sukha comes, dukkha comes. When mana comes, apamana comes. What is the jignyasa we are supposed to do? What is this jignyasa? Jignyasa means digging there and trying to see which plant. I'm seeing one plant is growing. Now I want to know which plant it is. What should I do there? Jignyasa means what? Dig, go. You will see there will be one seed. Mango seed I can see there. That means I had put mango. Memory is not the important thing here. You may remember, you may not remember. Action is important. We cannot go by our memory because I don't remember, so I can't accept it as a truth. Truth is not the function of memory. Memory is meant for some other purpose. Memory is meant to do with our experience. What is the function of the memory? Function of the memory is not to establish the truth. It should not be used for establishing the truth. It's a very serious point. What is the function of the memory? The function of the memory is to enhance certain experiences. The memory cannot be used for establishing the truths. That will be misuse of the misapplication of the memory. It is like your mobile is meant for certain use. It is meant for communication use. If you say now I want to break coconut. So I will use my mobile to break the coconut. Means it will be wrong application of. And now you can say, see, this coconut is not breaking with this. See, memory is not meant to establish the truth. I am not able to remember my past life, so I don't accept past life. Memory is not the basis of the truth. Then what is memory meant for? Memory is meant for enhancing sukha, dukkha, mana, apamana. By remembering something, you feel very proud. Oh, I did all these things. I feel very proud of it. By remembering something, you'll feel very shy of yourself. Oh, I am the one who did this. I feel very embarrassed. By remembering something, you feel very happy. By remembering something, you feel very, very morose. So memory is meant to enhance our experiences. Memory is not meant to establish the truth. Do you want to establish the truth? Then what should I use to establish the truth? I have to watch what's going on in my life to establish the truth. Right? You go to doctor and say, doctor's got so much stomach pain. The doctor will ask, first thing he'll ask, do you remember anything you ate yesterday and all? Memory can be first used as a secondary this thing. No, I don't remember anything. Oh, you don't remember it. That means nothing has happened to you. Go home. If a doctor uses memory to determine what's going on in your life, is he a doctor? Or because you don't remember anything, I also don't remember anything, both of us don't remember anything, that means nothing has happened to you. Just go back. Memory cannot be used. Now what should doctor do? He has to use different pramana paddhati. He will say whether you remember, don't remember. I will do an X-ray and see what has happened to you. And in X-ray, in MRI scanning, the doctor will say, hey, there are some coins in your stomach. I see there are so many coins, nails, and so many things like that. That is causing you some stomach pain. Do you remember? No, I don't remember. I don't know how it went. Okay, chalo, whether you remember, don't remember, the truth is there is some coin and it is causing you some problem. Now we have to operate and now we have to relieve you from this pain. This is exactly what Vedic literatures are saying. Do jignasa. Jignasa means do scanning. Go through MRI scanning, CT scanning, this scanning, that is called jignasa. With the help of Vedic scripture, find out what is the cause. And operation is called prayaschitta, repentance. Do some whatever is required, you will be relieved. That is only one level of solution. What if you again start swallowing the coins? We solved your present problem, but if it continues, and then you have to do the third thing. Third thing is, you need to know swallowing coins leads to problem. I should not. Education. Secondly, you have to give up that mentality. That mentality, sinful mentality, you'll give up when you take to bhakti. Devotional service. Cheto darpana marjanam bhavamaha davagni nirvapanam. So all level we have to work. Isn't it? So that's what all these pastimes from Ramayana, Mahabharata, and we must learn. So they are not just stories. They are the Martyavataram, Martya Shikshanam. All these great personalities, they are acting in this particular way so that we get education. And so that we get out of this world. So we'll stop here. Grantara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.